it's Zai. Welcome back to my channel. I cannot believe I'm making this video today, but I am so excited to be sharing with you guys baby names that I like but will not be using. So for those of you who may be new to my channel, I just want to share really quickly. My husband and I do not know the gender of the baby, so we will be sharing, I will be sharing 4 girl names, 5 boy names, and 2 unisex names. Girl names are really hard to come across and absolutely love. Just a little background, because we don't know the gender of our baby and we won't know until I give birth, we have picked a boy's name and a girl's name already. We're just working on the middle names, but obviously those 2 names I won't be sharing in this video, but there were so many other names that we've come across that some we loved, some we liked, but I'm really excited to share it with you guys. Alright, so we are going to get started with girl names. So like I said before, girl names are so hard. They're just I swear to you, you don't know how many girl names I went through and I just was like, skip. But I did come across 4, 2 that I really love, 2 that I just like. But the first name, I absolutely love this name, is Freya. And I don't know what it is about Freya. I think it's because I know an artist whose name is Freya Writings, I think is her last name. And she just has such a beautiful voice. I wouldn't be mad if our baby girl was nicknamed Frey. I don't know, I just really loved that name, but I could not get my husband on board with it. He was not a fan. He said it kind of sounded like a vintage, old-timey name, and I didn't agree. I just thought it was really pretty, and honestly, that probably would have been the name we named our baby girl if he would have said yes, because there's just something about that name that just sounds so delicate but strong at the same time. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's kind of just the vibe that name gave me, and I loved it so much. Okay, so the next girl name has a ton of A's in it. I've noticed a lot of the girl names that I have a lot of A's within the name, or at least one. I don't know why A names just sound so pretty. But the next name is Malaya, and Steven actually really liked that name. I really liked that name, but we didn't love it enough to name our baby Malaya. It's still such a beautiful name. I love the way it just kind of rolls off the tongue. I don't know. I've always pictured our baby girl having a name that's just so airy and light, and just a beautiful name to even just say. And I think Freya and Malaya are just so beautiful. We actually knew Malaya in high school, and I just love that name. So this next name we actually have heard of before, but I saw it for the first time with a different spelling, which made me really like it, and that is the name Alora. And with this spelling, obviously there's an A, and it's actually just completely different than the way we've usually seen it spelled, which is, I think, E-L-O-R-A? Alora? Yeah. Pregnancy parent, I have to make sure that I'm spelling correctly. But when Steven saw it with that spelling, he also really liked it. But again, obviously not enough to name baby girl Alora. But another name that has a few A's in it. I don't know what it is about the A's, you guys. By the way, Penelope is right here keeping me company. She's been acting a little funny today. But yeah, Alora was another one of those names where the spelling really also is important to us. I want a name that not only sounds really pretty, but also looks good on paper. I don't know if that's weird, but that's just kind of where my head is. So for this name, my husband was not on board on, but I thought was really pretty. It's a little more common of a name, and that name is Haven. I've actually seen a few people, while I've watched these videos, really like the name Haven. I honestly really liked Halo also, but Steven was like, yeah, no. We're not gonna name our kid Halo. So Haven was kind of the middleman, and again, another name with an A, and I don't know, I heard it and the way that it's spelled is just so beautiful. It's another one of those really like delicate and airy names, and just like I can picture a little girl being named Haven and just having the most like the brightest personality and just being so outgoing and happy all the time. And that's also kind of where I got the inspiration for some of these names, is visualizing people that would be named these names, and it's always people that I can imagine being super, I don't know, always with a smile on their face, always happy, always joyful. And so that's why I really loved all of these girl names. And I mean, maybe for next baby we can agree upon one of them, because I really, really like these names. But yeah, the last one is Haven, and I could not get Steven on board. He wasn't having it. Okay, so now on to boy names. Actually really, really excited to share these. There are a few that I've just loved even before I got pregnant. I've heard of them, and then I really, really liked them. So the first one, a little more common of a name, but the name is Liam. And when I hear the name Liam, I think of Liam Hemsworth, and I'm just like, oh my God, Liam Hemsworth. But you're bound to find one person whose name you found on the baby list, and then it kind of ruins it for you. But Liam was just, I just really liked it. I liked how short it was spelled also. Like I said, the spelling to me is really important. Steven wasn't a fan. I really liked the name Liam. I thought it was so cute, and I can imagine a little boy just being named Liam and then growing up and being some really like good looking guy. So, but you know, we had to pass, unfortunately. So if Steven had said yes to this next name, I would have said a few months ago that this would be the name. But now I've outgrown it a little bit. I was really, really, really wanting to name our baby, if it was a boy, this name. But like I said, I think I outgrew it a little bit. Steven, again, it's so hard for us to agree on names because he liked other names and I was not into it. And this was one of the names that he really just wasn't into. But I, for the longest time in the beginning of my pregnancy, really loved the name Noah. And I still really like that name. I just don't love it. And now that we have the name picked out for a boy, if we have a boy, it's really like, there's really just no comparison anymore, because obviously the name that we picked is a name that we really love. And yeah, I was trying to get him to agree on Noah for the longest time, and he just would not budge. So this next name has a story, and it is a funny one actually. So if you guys are new to my channel, my husband's name is Steven, but he doesn't spell it with the V, he spells it with the PH. So most people call him Stefan if they're reading it off something or whatever. Like, that's usually what people think his name is Stefan. And when we first met in high school, that's actually what I called him for the first time, was Stefan. And he looked at me all types of crazy, like, excuse me, that is not my name. And we always look back on that story and we laugh. But ever since, and actually for a few years now, I've really, really liked the name Stefan. And I've made jokes too, like, well, why don't we spell it like Steven? People call you Stefan all the time. But I think it's because I've just made so many jokes throughout the years that he's just like, no, like, we're not naming our kid Stefan. We're not naming our kid Stefan. So I think I did that to myself. I ruined that for myself because I really, really liked the name Stefan. That was actually number 2 on my boy list if he had said yes. So really loved the name Stefan. I don't know anyone with that name other than the character from the Vampire Diaries, but, and that's another reason why he said no. He's like, we're not gonna name our kid off some vampire. So I'm like, you know, no one's gonna remember that show. I just really, really like the name. So this next name I had never heard of until I started working at the CDC, and I met the cutest little boy with this name, and that name is Elias. I think Elias is so pretty, and I think just such a like a sweetheart name. Like I can imagine our baby boy growing up and being just such a sweet guy, and because the name Elias just goes so well with that personality, and obviously like knowing the little kid that I did from the CDC, it just like I fell in love with that name. I think it's such a cute name. So the last boy name that I really liked was Julian, and choosing names has been really difficult because Stephen is half Italian, so his last name takes over that part of his family, and obviously Griswold. So it was a little difficult to sort of find a name that we really liked that was a little more on the Latin side, because we wanted to make sure that the name obviously went well with the last name. Mine obviously doesn't. I mean, I'm married to him, but my name does not go well with Griswold. I really like the name Julian. I don't know what it is about it, honestly. I really like it. So we're gonna move on to unisex names. I only have 2. They were kind of difficult to come across. Stephen really liked the idea of naming our baby a unisex name, but we didn't really find one that we were like for sure set on, like this is what we have to name our kid. But I did find 2 where I thought they were actually really pretty names. The first name is Lennox, and I think I just really like the fact that there's an X in this name. And a couple of you guys asked me if I was planning on naming the baby, if it were a girl, after me, and that's really sweet of you guys to ask. But unfortunately, no. We will not be naming baby girl after me. It would be amazing if like my granddaughter was named after me. But back to Lennox, I've never heard anyone with this name. I saw it online and I just really liked it. I like how unique it is, and pretty much like the fact that I don't know anyone with this name is what really got me stuck on it. But Lennox I thought was a really pretty name. Okay, you guys, for the last name, it makes me so sad I'm almost done with this video. But this name I've heard of. I don't know anyone personally with this name, but I do know that it's out there, and that is Hayden. It sounds so pretty, like when you say it out loud, Hayden. It's just so pretty. Like I can't even describe it, but I just really like that name, and I think a boy or a girl, honestly, it would work either for either or. Lennox and Hayden. I got myself like reconsidering. No, but I can't. Like the name that we have, we're like set on and we're excited about. And it's a name that we literally agreed on maybe like a week after I found out I was pregnant. We were talking about names, and this is for the boy is what I'm trying to say. We found a boy name that we just loved since forever, and so now we just recently found a girl name that we really like and that we are hopefully sticking to. That's why I didn't share it in this video, but I'm really excited to share with you guys, like I said before. So yeah, that is it for this video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm so excited to find out the gender of the baby. A lot of you guys had told me that I have so much willpower for it, but with everything that's going on, I think this is just like the one thing that cannot be taken from me, and so now I'm even more like excited about it with, you know, just everything that's going on. Making sure that one thing, like nobody can take that away from me, just really makes me happy. So I'll be really happy on the day that I give birth and I get to find out if baby's a girl or boy and name him one of the 2 names that we have. So yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys got some inspo, because honestly, I love all these names. They're all so beautiful. Probably going to be naming our next child one of these names, boy or girl. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you on my next video. Bye guys.